We are live. Welcome to Rewriting Reality. I am Shiraz, and I am here with the lovely and talented Jessica Dugas. And if you don't know who she is, see what this says here? Breakthrough show. This is a breakthrough show extra. So this only exists because of this woman. She's the woman behind the scenes. She's not behind the scenes on all these other shows. I bombed her show this morning. That was fun.
Yes, it was.
Project Joy, Mondays at some ungodly hour in the morning.
That's exactly the right time.
It's 8 a.m. Eastern, which means it's 7 a.m. for you. Why are you awake and functioning and actually running a show at 7 a.m.? Like, being conscious is an accomplishment for me at 7 a.m.
Because I'm up naturally between 5 and 6 a.m. my time every time. And so, and then when I was thinking of, when I was doing the show and decided to go live, because it was just a podcast, a recorded podcast for a year. And when I brought it live, I said, well, I've got to catch everybody before they go to work or on their way to work, because that's the point, is to start their week off, start their day off, and I've got to catch them early. And you would not believe how many people were like, yeah, I'm going to be out on that show because I'm not up at that hour. But yet lots of people, more people, I think, come live for that show than they do at noon on Friday. So
yeah, because when I was on there, I saw there's a lot of comments going on, people jumping in. It's really cool. It almost want to get up regularly on a Monday.
Yeah, but, almost.
Well, today's the last Monday of the month, so I started at 9, so I was up already. I had gotten things out of the way. I'm like, I got time to jump on Jessica's show. So boom, there I was. And yeah, I encourage you, get onto Project Joy. There's a lot of fun that it's called Project Joy for a reason. We were talking about being a kid. Oh, I can't remember what the exact title was, but we were talking about being a kid again.
Yeah, it was part, we've been doing in the middle of a 10-week series about bringing more play into our lives to experience more joy. And that was part 9 today, was being a kid again. And, where do you go that reminds you to be a kid, or what do you see that reminds you to be a kid? Because a lot of times people think, well, I've got to have a child, or I've got to be around a child to be playful, but that's just not, we know, Shiraz, that's just not true.
I think I went on there because I have problems having fun and being a kid. And so I needed to be inspired. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay.
The free advice.
So I wanted to bring you on because we both got things coming up.
Yeah.
I have the Wealthy Healer Summit coming up. You have your Magical Night, which again, I'm horrible with names, so I can't remember. I know it's a Magical Night of Music or something like that. What's it called?
That would have been a great name too, though. It's a musical night of giving, and it's a play off of an event that I used to go to when I was a teenager called An Evening of Giving, and I just added musical in there, and we're going to make it the focus to be music.
Okay. So Jessica's going to be promoting that. I'm going to be promoting that. It's going to be an amazing event, and there are charities involved.
Yes.
Yes.
The entire proceeds of the tickets that are being sold are benefiting Overcoming Odds, which is an organization here in the United States that they run shows and programs and workshops and all of that, helping people with their personal development, because they believe that everyone should be able to access that, and specifically focusing on marginalized communities. And so I really appreciate the work that Oleg Lohid is doing over there at Overcoming Odds. And then the other organization is the Weiss Scholarship Foundation, which sends children to school in Dago, Kenya, a little village in Dago. And I know that they've expanded, I believe, to another village now as well. So lots of good things going on over there. So this is truly a global event, which I'm really excited about.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not all that big on personal development, but I'm
Darn.
So yeah, that's coming up December 4th.
December 4th, yes, and it's a 3-hour benefit concert. There are 12 different artists, so you'd be hard pressed to find, to not find an artist that is somewhat your taste in music. And I think it's going to be a really good time for everybody.
Okay. And this is actually going on online. You don't have to actually go there and see these people. So how's that work?
Well, you're going to come on something similar to this. It's a private streamed event, and you'll be able to chat with the audience just as if you were sitting next to your best friend in the audience. And you're going to see the different artists play for you on the screen. And then in between, we're going to be hearing from different people. You're going to hear from Brett Weiss and Oleg Lohid from Overcoming Odds. And you're also going to hear little tidbits here and there from our sponsors and just holiday wishes and things like that. And part of the cool thing about this is that with your ticket to the event, you actually get a virtual swag bag that includes a ton of coupons and freebies and lots of stuff that can help you with the holidays, but also with your holiday gift giving. So you can be shopping and listening to music and talking in the chat, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun.
Oh God. Okay. All that stuff sounds great, except I'm still back at the very first thing. How are you talking to someone in the audience that's next to you? What the hell? Like, how are you doing that?
In the chat.
Okay.
Everybody from the audience will be in the chat, and you'll get to chat with them in the little box. And then we'll of course be talking to everybody through the screen. So it's like, I think part of the cool thing is that, when you go to a concert, even if it's a really intimate one and they're on the stage and they're talking to you, it's not like they can hear you if you answer back,
Yeah.
And so like we'll be going on throughout the show, and people will be able to talk to us, and we'll be able to talk back, which is nice.
Okay, cool. All right. I thought you
fun.
had some sort of virtual reality I can turn and see the person next to me. And I'm like,
No.
what's going on? So, okay. Okay. So one of the other reasons I wanted you on today is I just realized I've known you for a while, and we've done a whole bunch of things together, but I don't know what your origin story is. How did this all happen? How did you go from wherever you were, because I don't know where that was, but now you've got the breakthrough show. It's on the E360 network, and I don't know what the views were, but we're up to 85,000 views at some point. Where are you at now? Do you know?
Well, it was 80,000 views over the first quarter, and now we're up almost at 40,000 for the month. This month. So pretty good, compared to, listen, when I started out on social media, alone, and that was just like, you get people that trickle in here and there. You don't have a whole lot of retention just on social media, unless you're saying something that's like dramatic, or which, we know a little bit about people that live in drama from the book, How to Rewrite Your Reality by Shiraz. And so we're not surprised that people love that. But, that's not, I just knew that wasn't necessarily what I wanted to be known for. I wasn't looking to be a Jerry Springer show. And, and I'm also not, if you look at some of the other talk shows that are out there, they're doing really well because they're a big name. Look at the Drew Barrymore show right now. Everybody's loved her as an actress. So of course they're going to tune in because they know her for her. So it can be challenging to do the show, as a no one, so to speak, on social media, because your mom might watch and maybe not. You never know. But yeah, I didn't realize that either, that I guess we never really talked about how it all started and everything. We really didn't.
We didn't. So me and Squirrel are going to sit back and listen to the origin story of Jessica Dugas.
Well,
I'm ready for this.
That's why you want to be on the show today. You just wanted a vacation. You wanted an hour break.
It's a 14-hour day. I got to do what I can. Right?
Called out. Okay. So, I think I always knew from the time that I was little that I wanted to help people. I just never really knew what that looked like. I went through the gamut of, MLM companies trying to sell things because, they always promote that as you're helping people with this product. And I thought, well, I could love anything. I can get excited about anything. So I can do that. And I did really well with a couple things, but not, I'd always it's somebody else's product. It's someone else's stuff. It wasn't really my thing, but I still wanted to really help people. And so as I continued on, one of the things that was really influential in all of this was that my brother passed away. And when he died, he was 24 years old, and that was 11 years ago. And he was 4 years younger than me. And it was just this moment of not just kind of seeing his life in my mind, because I was there when he died. I literally walked in the room and he took his last breath. That's how it all happened. And but it was like a movie scene in my own mind of like, what have you done with your life? What kind of mom are you? Like, who are you pretending to be? It was the most out of body experience that I've ever had. And it really shaped, you know, how I looked at my life holistically, spiritually, emotionally. My physical body was a huge part of that. And I just continued to be determined to push on and to make a better life for myself, and really got involved with the spiritual development world and the personal development world. And people just kept asking me all the time, like, I don't know how you're doing it. Like, you're homeschooling 872 kids. Like, you know, you've got all of this long history of 6, really, not 872, but
870.
but you've got this long history. A lot of people knew about chronic health issues I had from the time I was very little. And they were like, I don't know how you're still here. Like, how are you doing it? And so I got into coaching moms, and quickly realized that that was not my niche. As much as I'm a mom and I really wanted to serve moms, and please don't take this offense as you're a mom. I know somebody's going to take this some kind of way, but a lot of moms are really in that victim mentality. We are taught as mothers to put our children first. And through doing that, we don't forget putting ourselves last. We don't put ourselves on the list at all. And I just realized that that's not who I am. And I had difficulty working with other people who were in that space, because I would get very frustrated and my energy was like getting depleted really fast. And so I had the opportunity come up in 2017 to write the story of when my brother passed away in a compilation book called Shine. And some other authors in there that we've had on the Breakthrough Show Network, like Crystal Cockerham. And my story, the whole process of sharing that story was one that was extremely healing for me. It enabled me to connect with other people who had also been through very traumatic grief experiences. And it also gave other people something to hang on to, something to know that they were not alone either. And I really saw it as such a multifaceted healing experience that I thought, man, storytelling is where it's at. Like, that's such a huge deal. And even my mother, who, you know, we've had an interesting relationship over the years, but she even read the story and messaged me and said, I just can't thank you enough for writing that, because I didn't even process what happened, like, throughout any of it. And so that was a huge thing for me to hear from her. And so that book became a bestseller. And then I was like, well, what do I do now? Like, nothing prepared, because I didn't have any plans. I didn't know. I had been doing a little Monday morning series. Oddly enough, I just remembered that was Monday. It's called Monday Morning Mama. And it was talking to moms about different topics. And I had done live video, but it was usually with myself. And I always enjoyed it so much more when there were other people that I could have a conversation with. And so I was sitting with some friends on a Zoom, and we had just had a really good conversation. And I said, man, I wish we would have recorded that because people could have gotten so much from that conversation.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, maybe we could, and maybe we should do something like The View, but less drama. And and so that's how the original format of the Breakthrough Show was born in 2018, was a panel style talk show talking about spiritual and personal development. And obviously it's changed a little bit since then, but that's how it all started. It was literally from writing to going, I don't know what the hell to do next.
Wow.
And that was that.
Okay. Yeah, and I know what you were talking about with the mom mentality. I've just been in two parent summits this year, and of course with no children. So I call myself a faux pas. But the one thing that I realized, and it's funny because the awareness hit me in the middle of the summit, and I just kept talking as though I'd known this all the time, but it was just like it hit me, and it was that parents are taught you have to sacrifice for your kids. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're in the mentality that you have to sacrifice for your kids, you have to create conditions so you have to sacrifice for your kids. And so that builds up in different ways, because on one hand, some people feel guilty. I don't feel like I'm sacrificing enough for my kids. Right. So they have to create the conditions. But other times it's a source of pride. So you share it with other moms. I had to put this aside. I had to do this. I did all this work for my kids. And, and so you create this whole, not just mentality for yourself, but you get these little cliques of moms talking about sacrifice, talking about how hard, getting into the victim mentality. And it's because that's what they've been raised with the sacrifice. And if you imagine what it's like that, well, what if I don't have to sacrifice for my kids? Doesn't mean that I don't give them anything. It means that I have so much time and energy and money that I don't have to sacrifice anything, and they get everything they want. And people forget that that's a possibility. Wait, what?
Right. And we see, so my grandmother that helped to raise me was, I clearly remember her sacrificing a lot, and everyone talked about what a wonderful mother and wonderful grandmother she is. So of course, why wouldn't I want to be like her? And so you don't even realize it's such a subconscious thing. And as you're getting, because even, I've worked with you before on different things because my grandmother was such a big influence. I have taken so much from her and my grandfather that I didn't realize that I had taken on just because I was trying to be just like them.
You were in their stories.
I know about that. And it's hard. It's a conscious choice that we have to make as parents. It is not what we were taught. We are not taught to do for ourselves. And, you see, even in conversation, I can think of probably at least 3 conversations last week that I had with people going, just making just kind of nonchalant comments about, oh, she does so much for her kids. She goes through all this. She's such a great mom, and we say that stuff all the time, and we don't realize what a pedestal we're putting them on for suffering and being a martyr. And so then we have to keep up with it.
And that's the thing. Got to keep up with it. Got to raise the bar, and no rest. Just got to keep going. And it's amazing, and what I see parents doing that they don't need to do, but the belief systems are just locked in there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you have broken free of that. You've got to a place where you're an inspiration now, and I'm glad to see you're resting. and
I was resting until someone messaged me and said, "Hey, do you want to come on the show today?" I was doing what I was told. I'm just trying to say.
I'm the exception to the rule. And this is not work. This is just fun conversation.
That's it. And my husband even said, I said, listen, Shiraz wants, because this is his last off day of the week. And he's like, I like Shiraz. Go ahead.
Thanks, Phil.
That's it. Thank you, Phil.
So, yeah. So you got out of that story. You created the show, The View Without the Drama. I like that as a tagline, View Without the Drama. Right, so. But then that's like, it didn't stop there, because suddenly, like, I have a show on the Breakthrough. Crystal has a show. If you don't know about it, ask Crystal. She'll tell you. See what I did there? Okay.
Yeah. You're full of it today. I'll tell you what.
And now the Jacksons have a show that's turning into a 24-hour
Marathon. Yes.
So yeah, their show. How long is the show supposed to be?
And 1 hour every other Wednesday. But I believe, and I see Donnell in the comments, I believe they are going to every Wednesday for an hour. I told them, I said in the beginning, nobody's after you, so feel free to, and they have felt free to go ahead.
Yeah, because when I heard the one show went 3 hours now, if you want to have a good time, get on this show because they have so much fun. They go 3 hours instead of one.
Yes. Well, I mean, and I was on the beginning of that show, but nighttime is my listen. Some guy named Shiraz was like, Jessica, you got to learn how to take a break here now and then, right? So I cut everything off pretty early at night. I need to get my sleep, right? So I told them when Donnell asked me to come on the show, I said, just so you know, I'm going to be on an hour. And they kept going 2 hours after I left, and I'm like, good night, to have fun.
Oh yeah. And the thing I love is that what you're building, the people that you're bringing into it are at that level where it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of inspiration, and now you're like doing it to such a big audience, and it just seems to keep growing. Right. And so, okay, so now here's the thing, because you've learned to rest. But as this grows, is it like, what the fuck am I doing now? Or is there a plan? Or you just, well, let's just see what happens? Like, what's going on there?
Well, it's like half and half. So to kind of back up a little bit, like how the other shows came on was that, the Breakthrough show is really focused on the storytelling. And I am adamant about keeping it at an hour because I don't ever want to set the expectation for people to come back like, 4 hours every single Friday when that they might not have that availability. We're lucky, like on TikTok, to get somebody for 15 seconds of a TikTok, so it can be challenging to hold people's attention. But also we want to make these stories just enough to where it sparks that curiosity, and we don't have to go so far into it. So we don't have enough time on the Breakthrough show to have somebody come on to tell their story and then tell you how to do it. So the whole point of bringing on other shows is like, okay, you watch the Breakthrough show on Fridays, you're inspired, you're excited, you're motivated to change your life. And now go rewrite your reality with Shiraz, go ask Crystal questions, go get nostalgic with Kevin and I on Throwback Thursday, go fix your relationships with the Jacksons. And now you're taking those actionable steps so that then you get to be a guest on the Breakthrough when you have yours. That's it.
I didn't realize that I had a specific role
See?
in this machine of, okay, she's talking to Jessica, now come here and get that shit cleared, get the reality. Oh my God. Because, I've had guests and stuff, and I got to cancel my guests and just work on the people that are coming from your show. So this is the new plan.
That's it. Well, and that's it. It's the whole thing of like, it wasn't enough for me to play storyteller. Mm-hmm. I'm good at that. I can create the space for people to feel safe telling their stories and have a good time while doing it and inspire other people. But I want those people to then leave the show and go, okay, I know I can't do that yet. So I got to go clear some stuff with Shiraz. I need to ask Crystal a question. My relationship with my husband isn't good, so I should probably watch Divine DNA. And, just to have a plan to actually take action and do things. And that is how going forward, and as we continue to grow and as we look at adding other shows to the network as well, I'm looking at what areas of life do we need to cover, because I can't do it all myself. And I don't know, I'm not an expert in everything anyway. Even people have said to me, you have 956 kids, so why don't you do a show about that? No, thank you. Moving on.
I know we said 872 and now it's gone up. She's given birth during the show to that many kids. It's just what happens.
You're welcome. contributing to the society.
Okay, so I'm really fascinated. So this is sort of a plan here in that the inspiration begins on the breakthrough show, and then you have a network of people to help in all the different areas that people need that help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know the plan. I love this plan. I didn't know it was out there.
Well, it's one of those things because I just sort of, and I don't think that I planned it per se. Like I didn't write it down and be like, this is what it's going to happen. It's just sort of grown into that. It's like when have you heard the cactus story?
No,
You haven't
sounds
heard?
pretty
Okay.
dry though.
So no, wow. Okay, so the story starts that we were out catching Pokemon because that's what every good story starts with.
Okay.
The kids and I and my husband were out catching Pokemon, and we pulled over to the side of the road we saw Pikachu, and we were like, "There it is, let's get it," right? And my daughter starts squealing in the back seat that she sees cactus on the side of the road.
Okay.
And my husband was like, "You want the cactus?" And my daughter's like, "Yes, I want the cactus." And this was public, this was not like private property, people. So don't get worried that my husband like swiped the cactus. He gets out of the car, okay, bare hands, picks this cactus just right out of the ground. Just here you go. Here you go. So I wish I could brought my prop. That cactus is now sitting in a flower pot in our entranceway because we want people when they come in the door to know that we're nice to look at, but a little prickly. And so this cactus has continued to sprout new cacti.
Oh,
like it's breeding in the entranceway, because that's what we do in this house. We continue to
you breed cacti in the entranceway. Okay.
But my whole point, it's like we got this one cactus. We just got this one cactus, and we've continued to watch it just grow. And I'm sitting every day, I go in the entranceway and I'm like, there's a new cacti growing. What is going on here? And that's with that same enthusiasm, I have watched the Breakthrough Show Network turn from the Breakthrough Show into all of these things. And I'm like, every time I turn on the computer, look, there's a new cactus.
Okay.
You're now a cactus.
I'm now a cactus.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get a little cactus logo and put it on the background now.
I need to find a way to tie a cactus into our logo. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we need to have like a shirt. I'm gonna put a shirt in our shop. It's happening November. Be looking for the cactus shirt.
Okay, that's next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that real fast.
And I gotta say, this morning on Project Joy, it was just sort of like a segue back. I was the only one wearing the Project Joy colors. Did you notice that I matched everything? Like,
I know.
Yeah. What's with that?
I don't know, man. I used to have more purple clothes. I don't know what's going on. but I do have my Breakthrough Show shirt. I need to get myself a Project Joy shirt as well, support my own shop. But there you can go to, if you click shop at thebreakthroughshow.com, there are actually shirts and stuff there. And you can.
So if I come up with the Rewriting Reality shirt, we can throw that on the store?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm discovering all this stuff I didn't know before. I need to bring you on sooner so I knew what was going on.
There are so many benefits you just didn't know.
So yeah, because like some people may think, okay, the Shiraz and Jessica got together and had this formal agreement, maybe a contract in place that he's going to do the show. But it was more like, do you want to do a show? Yeah, okay, let's do a show. We're just here.
That's what it doesn't have to be. I think a lot of times we don't start things because we're waiting for that stuff to happen. We're waiting for Shiraz flew down here from Toronto and we met in the meeting room and signed paperwork, and it didn't have to be like that. And I really have so heavily leaned on my own intuition for creating, these different relationships and the shows that are happening. And I just knew when it's right, it's right. And if I approach someone and they're like, hey, I don't see the vision, that's cool too.
And that works. And that's, yeah. I have no idea what you're going to talk about at the Wealthy Healers Summit.
I know.
Okay, as long as you know. I don't actually want you to go into now because we're going to do it at the summit.
Yes.
But yeah, but like I love this conversation about trusting your intuition, especially where it's taken you 40,000 views in a month.
Mm,
Like people are out there trying, like struggling to get 8 people to watch their podcast.
right.
And you're just like, oh, I trusted my intuition and look where it's taken me. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to that interview. And I don't know, like part of me says, well, you're going to be talking to Jessica for 22 minutes at a Wealthy Healer Summit, and you're used to having these hour-long conversations with her. And I'm like, maybe we should open the slot up because we're just going to keep talking.
Yeah.
So I'm going to think about that. But yeah, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to whatever the hell you're going to say there. I know you filled out a form and stuff. I haven't looked at that.
Oh, see,
Right.
I know what I'm talking about. And you all, I will just say, knowing that I know what I'm going to talk about and knowing that Shiraz doesn't know, you all need to go sign up for this summit. The general admission ticket is free.
Free.
And yeah, I mean, hello. It's like,
So,
it's not
in
rocket
case-
science, people.
So in case you're wondering, if you're new and you have no idea what the Wealthy Healer Summit is, this was a little brainchild of mine because people call me a healer. I don't consider myself a healer, but healing is a side effect of what I do. And I make good money. And I watch other people that are coaches, that are healers, even like RMTs, recovery specialists, people that help with the physical or the mental or the spiritual. And a lot of them have amazing talents and skills, and they're struggling. They're either doing it as a part-time job because they can't make it work full-time, or they've got it as a full-time job, but they're working their asses off for 50,000 a year or 60,000 a year. And I'm like, no, you can take it to 6 figures. You can take it beyond that. And the irony is that they're inspired by people like Jack Canfield or Abraham Hicks. And I'm like, but they're doing it. Like, you can't look at them and say, well, no, but it's hard. No, they're doing it. So this whole summit we're looking at 2 audiences. Number one is those people I'm just talking about that are struggling, that could do better, but either don't know how, or in the mindset that I have to choose between wealth and purpose. And you don't, it's both. And so there's going to be people there to inspire you and to guide you on how you can do both. But there's also going to be experts there. I have some of my coaches. I have 7-figure coaches that I go to take my business to the next level. And some of them have decided, yes, we'll come out and we'll talk to your audience. So we'll teach them, this is how you write a book. This is how you create a course. This is how you 10x your business. This is how you create a movement. Like, all these people are going to be there giving guidance, giving wisdom. And so there's going to be a whole bunch of interviews. I'm going to be doing energetic magic on people at the summit. So if if you can't make it today to any of the what are they called, webinars that I'm doing today, come to the summit. And
What am I doing? Where am I?
I have no idea what's going on. See, I completely forgot that this was the last Monday of the month. So I'm serious, because for some reason, because the 31st, right? My brain was telling me it was right after the 31st, which of course is the 1st, which is not the last
Right.
Monday.
No.
And so I scheduled a 3-day, incredibly intense workshop, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I've just come out of that. And I'm just like, oh, that was big.
Yeah.
And so now, last Monday, let's do work 14 hours. Why not?
Why not?
So that happened. But yeah, so I'll be working on people during the summer. What we're also revving up is on the second day, we're going to have a panel of these experts. So they're going to have their interviews on the first day, and there's going to be some on the second. But on the second day, there is a panel discussion where we're going to take some of the people that are in the VIP, that have upgraded to VIP, and we're going to put them in front of the panel, and they're going to talk about their business. And the panel is just going to say, take this out, change this, do this, and they're just going to revamp your business on the spot. Okay.
But listen, y'all need to get I know I mentioned the free ticket, but y'all need to get the VIP ticket. VIP.
So that's it. So that's what's happening with the VIPs. And then the third day, there's actually no talks. 3rd day, we've got a whole bunch of the speakers have volunteered their time to do intimate workshops with the attendees, right? The VIP attendees. And so you could end up in a workshop on how to write your book, how to turn your whatever you do into a course, how to start your own podcast. And you just go in there, and it's a no selling zone too. It is content only. And that's what the agreement we made with the speakers. I was surprised, because when I said no selling, they're like, no, happy to do it. Love to help this audience, because these people that are coming care about this audience, right? That's one of the qualifications that they see. No, these people deserve to be paid for what they do. And so that's the energy that we're pulling into the summit. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having you there.
I'm excited to be there, and I'm very, not just from being able to be a speaker, of course, but also because part of what I'm going back to next year is getting the healing part of my business back up and running, because it was something that I needed to take a break from for a while to reconnect with myself. And also, you gotta take care of yourself sometimes first, and get to the bottom of some things. And sometimes all the time. But I needed to really be in that spiritual place myself. And then now I can go back, and now, the bunny won't be hopping around my office at that time, like she is at the moment. And I'll be able to have my nice table back out here, and I've finally gotten all of my stuff out of storage from when we moved in a whole year ago. And so it's just, I'm glad to get back to it, but to go into it now with all of this stuff that I'm going to take away from this summit as well. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm looking for, because I've already been working with some of these coaches, and just the knowledge that they impart in such a short amount of time. Like you said, like some people are like, how do they justify 7 figures and the prices that, and you sit in a workshop with them, and you're like, holy shit. It's just mind blown.
Yeah. And that's such a, you can look at that when you go to the store to buy something. Okay. So I bought these scissors that were not, it's going to sound so silly, I'm talking about scissors here, but I bought these scissors that were not name brand scissors. They were just really cheap scissors, whatever I could find. And now I go to sit down to work on my kids' Halloween costumes and it won't cut the fabric. It won't cut the fabric. And so I had to go all the way back to the store today to buy the good scissors that I know will cut and I had to spend a little extra money, and I had to take my time to go and do it and everything. But that's the whole point of I think, getting in front of people like this, and to invest in yourself, invest in your business, is because you're not going to have to go back to the store and do it again.
Yeah. And I remember I used to talk about that back when I was just doing life coaching, before I actually discovered energetic magic. And it was this thing about worth, and what you're worth, what you're allowed to spend money on, and how you're supposed to spend that money. And especially with women, if you go to your closet and see how many clothes are there and how much you actually wear, right? And I talk and I say, how many do you buy on sale because they're on sale, and then just don't get them? And if you were to buy half the clothes and spend twice as much on them, then you'd have a wardrobe that you actually wear, but because the quality's higher, it actually lasts longer. And so the value there is insane. Right. But people we're not raised to think that way for some reason. We're like, go for the bargain. Right. And one of my coaches, he actually said, it's not about getting the lowest cost, it's about getting the best value. So you could get a phone that's worth $100 for $100, or there might be a sale where you could get an iPhone worth $1,000 for $100. You're still spending $100, but you're getting better value, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that's important to look at the value. And it's hard sometimes, I think, for people to see beyond the right now, and to go, hey, this could really benefit me for the future. But I can tell you, probably one of the most frustrating things is to go ahead and make a purchase that is not, working with someone that can really help you. You're going because, oh, it's only $30, $39.99 to take this coaching program or whatever. And then you don't get the results you want. You've wasted time, you've wasted energy. And now hopefully you've walked away with a lesson. at least that. But it's, I recently started working with coaches for some of my wellness stuff, and like before, like I was at first with the price was like, oh God, on the floor, done. I don't know if I can do this, but I did it anyway because it's so important to me. And I feel like even that in itself is telling the universe, I really want this. Mm-hmm. I really want it that bad to where I'm going to suck it up and do it.
And that's it. And that it is the doing and the continuing of doing. So, I mean, I'm having conversations with the coaches, and we have to see who's involved and who's not involved. But for me alone, anyways, coming out of the summit, the thing I've discovered from a lot of events like this is you go in and you get hyped up and you learn some stuff and you're like, oh my God, this changed everything. And then you start going on with your life, and it changed everything for a while. And then it slowly doesn't change as much. And then because you're not getting that reinforcement. Yeah. And so I want to add that reinforcement after the summit, so that, okay, you're on the high, you're doing more. Let's keep you on the high until that high just becomes your normal. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that's what's been missing from a lot of the summits that are out there. Mm-hmm. It's just, you get the high and then you come off it. And then you have to go get to the next summit and get another high and come off it.
Right. That's part of it too with the Breakthrough Show. And I think the benefit of having the other shows in between is that you're not coming to have the high on Friday and then wait till next Friday and have another one and another. Oh, that's such a nice story, and we're done. And that's such a nice story, and we're done. No, you come on Mondays, get your stuff from Shiraz, and then on Wednesdays, and then on Tuesday, there's something every day almost now that you can come and benefit from. And it doesn't have to be this experience. Are you actually getting anything from this?
Yep. And at the rate you're going, soon you'll have as many shows as you have children. So over 900 shows.
That I will not be hosting. That's why I find people like Shiraz.
But I'm still thinking about this whole plan there, that is, whether it was like just something that came or it's just what it's becoming. It's like, okay, well, I'm in this network of Breakthrough Show extras, and as it grows, there's going to be people that I'm like, I need to attend that show regularly, and I need to go to that show regularly, and it's just there. So now I'm like, Jessica, get your ass moving, get some more of these shows going. Right? I'm going to put a list of what I need help with, and I'm going to like, go start this show.
And I seriously would welcome anybody, because look, there are lots of people. I think this is such a, again, a multifaceted opportunity here, because you have people who want to start a show, but they either A, don't know how to do it, B, they don't have an audience already, they don't have a support. When you come and start with the Breakthrough Network, there's people already watching here. So that's part of it. And then with the Breakthrough Show and Project Joy being on E360, I am constantly telling everybody every single week, to all 40,000 of those people that watched this last month, hey, go back and listen to the replays or go watch while it's live with these other shows. And then, the audience, just the more that we add, you're just getting so much more benefit and so many more people that you can connect with. And I think part of the really cool thing that we're trying to build with having the Discord in place, which is as these shows, come out and the network is building, people on the Discord actually can talk to us. Like, they can actually ask a question. So you'll see in the Discord that Shiraz's link is posted from the episode, and they can go, hey, where'd you say that summit was? Can you give me the link again? Something like that, and you can talk to other people that are fans of the shows or hosting the shows, and have it be a network, not just within the shows, but outside as well.
Okay. I didn't know that.
See?
I didn't. I'm learning
We're
so
learning
much
all
today.
the things today, because Shiraz is in Discord. A magical world.
I I was just like, now I'm flashing back to Saturday because for some reason Discord was screwing up on Saturday, and I was trying to connect and it wasn't connecting. And so while it was connecting, I got onto my phone and I was playing Duolingo. And it was only that when I finished the Duolingo, and I don't know why I was saying hello. I don't know if I was because I wasn't in the Discord, but someone else said hello back to me. And at that point, it had
Cheryl.
connected. Cheryl said back,
Yes.
but it could have connected at any time, and you guys could have heard me speaking Spanish for like 20 minutes, not knowing you were there.
I love it. And I would have got out my Duolingo and been like, let's see, how do I respond to that? Because I don't remember.
And what the hell are you doing on there? Because I get notifications, and Jessica's number one again. Jessica's just completed this many lessons. Like, you're just killing it on there. What's happening?
I am learning Spanish like a boss.
You are. You're like, you're going to be past me.
And the reason I'm on there is because I made a really good friend. Shout out to Yessie if she's watching, that lives in Puerto Rico. And I was like, one day I'm going to get on a boat and I'm going to come see you. And I was like, I've got to know how to say something. And so I started, and I'd taken some Spanish in school and was friends with some people that spoke Spanish and taught me all the inappropriate things. But now I'm trying to learn the appropriate things like Juan come manzanas. Juan loves apples. He eats them a lot on Duolingo.
I'm actually at a level now where they'll say a sentence and then there'll be three responses. Mm-hmm. But with my brain, it's like, well, this is the correct response, but technically this other response is also true if you look at it from this point of view.
Well, and some of them are silly. Like, really, it's like, okay, Carlos S. blank, right? Yeah. It gives you the choices of Carlos is work, Carlos is bread, or Carlos is elegant. Which one do you think is correct? Well, I think Carlos is bread sometimes, personally.
Well, I mean, Carlos brings a lot of money in, so he's definitely some bread there, right? So
that's it.
It's the context. Oh man! But when you get further on, there are going to be lessons where the questions that they used to ask in English, they ask in simpler Spanish. So the English is just getting removed out of the app as you go further on.
I'm going to be sad when I'm not talking about Juan and his manzanas anymore.
Oh my God. Well, are you doing the stories yet? I know we're talking about Duolingo on this.
I've gone through some of the stories. I haven't gone back there a whole lot because I'm trying to get through some of these lessons. I feel like I'm in like a high school refresher right now.
The thing I love about, and this is if you're not doing Duolingo to learn a language, get on it because it's fun. You actually learn the lesson, but the stories they try to make them as amusing as possible, so that you can actually read it and want to find out what happens next and learn the words. There was one recently I was reading where the girl says, I can't find my phone. And her other friends was like, when do you last remember having it? She goes, oh, I had it on a date last night. Oh, I think I left it at his place. And she goes, well, just go get it. She goes, I can't. I said, well, why not? I said, well, because I was drinking wine and I spilled the wine on his white couch. And she's like, what? And then when I was shocked and I jumped up because I knocked over his favorite lamp. Like, what? And so then I went to the bathroom, but instead of coming out, I was so embarrassed, I crawled out the window. And so I can't go back there.
See, I am looking forward to the funny stories. Like right now, my stories make no sense. My stories are like, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, they say the cat wants to learn Spanish because the cat only speaks English and the dog speaks Spanish. So the cat wants to talk to the dog. I don't know if they're calling them like cool cat and like a dog, like something cool, or is this actually a cat and a dog that want to be friends and speak two different languages? I don't know what's going on.
You've got to get further advanced. There's actually regular recurring characters that you get to know and you go like, oh my God, that is so Carlos. Right? So.
Yeah. I think there's some Duolingo fans out here.
There are.
See.
So, yeah. And then you guys can get on, you can friend us on Duolingo, and then we can all support each other. And well, look, there's a musical evening of giving. 17 minutes ago. I'm way behind on the chat right now.
I know. I was putting links in there for the people. I put the Wealthy Healers Summit link.
Oh, it's there too. Look at that. You're on top of this stuff. I am so bad at this.
That's why, listen, I'm here for this.
I still have to get the opening music. I haven't got around to that yet. And so, yeah, I gotta get on top of these things. I know I don't know you're like, I'm the show where you're like, yeah, Shiraz does this thing, but he really, they got to up the professionalism there.
No, listen, I never worry about. You're always bringing it on the show. You have good people on here. And I think it's really interesting always, because as you're helping people, the helping people is helping everybody else. You can find yourself in any of the situations that come on, and Shiraz is able to help them, and it will help you too.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, I mean, the whole goal is to rewrite reality. So
maybe.
And yeah, we've got some people in the attendees here. I'm not going to do some clearings, but does anyone have any questions for Jessica about her show, her journey, anything like that? I don't know how much you guys heard, because I know people are jumping in. But if not, we'll continue gabbing because that's what we do.
We do that well. Somebody was asking about the, do you see that in the question and answer?
There's a question and answer?
Yeah, it says Q&A at the bottom with a little 2 next to it.
Oh yeah, there's a little 2 in there. Oh my God.
Look
a feature I've never used before.
Sorry, he couldn't find you, Lorraine.
Okay, so this is 347. This isn't bad. Okay, I thought maybe it's been sitting there since like 315. My radio and talk for TV show, Midlife Awakening at the Edge of Fulfillment, helps women over 40 explore interesting ways to find fulfillment, which seems to make sense from the title. With interesting guests sharing a new perspectives. I wonder if that's in line with your show. With my show, possibly. I think you're talking to Jessica, though. This is not about me anymore.
Well, I mean, it's aligned with all of our shows, because I am now officially a woman over 40. So, I mean, I guess I would fit into that, at least personally. But I think that it's a huge part of our audience that is people in that demographic. We are, I would say, from when I just looked at our recent numbers, E360 TV, probably 65% to 70% women that watch the shows, and in that demographic of anywhere between 30 to 65, like it's a really, really nice gap there. And even the younger ones jump into it as well, which is fun. But that is a huge part of our viewing audience anyway. So I think that's a big part of the people that watch the show. And to me, because I feel like almost as you're getting to that age, that's when for me, I started to get like 35 was when I was like, I got to get my shit together. Like, I got to figure this out. Oh, was I supposed to be doing life 30 years before now? I forgot. I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm going to give another 50 years before I try to get my shit together. That's my plan.
Rein in the squirrels. Yeah.
So the transcript, well, this is going to be stored. You can watch the video on the Breakthrough Show Network. So if you go to Facebook, Breakthrough Show Network, is that, or is it just Breakthrough Show?
Just go to the breakthroughshow.com and click the network button at the top, and you'll find Shiraz there. When you click on it, it'll show all of his episodes.
Okay.
Yay.
See, again, I had no idea. I knew there was a breakthroughshow.com, but and I've actually visited it a few times, but I didn't know that's how it worked.
Listen, you guys, I just want you to know, like, this is me and you talking here, people. Okay. This is me and you. Shiraz has been told a lot of this stuff. I just want to say we have had meetings. Do you understand? But Shiraz brings the squirrels.
There's a reason he pops up, is because you're talking and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, that's a riot.
I seem to vaguely remember that some of the shows that are now on the network through Facebook and YouTube are moving to 360.
We are
Eventually,
in
someday, maybe.
talks
We
about
are in
that.
talks
We are
about it. Okay. All right.
in talks about
Are
that.
you in talks with them, or am I supposed to be in talks with you? Because again,
No, we're all talking together.
okay.
We've had our meeting with us, and I've been conversing with E360, and we'll and it's all in the effort of finding more shows and stuff as well. So it'll all be happening at once. One day Shiraz will have me back on the show and he'll be like, "What? There are 50 shows now? I had no idea." Am I on E360 right now? What is happening? Where am I?
You will not be surprised if I have no idea that I'm on. Just like Jessica said, just do your show Mondays at 3. Okay, I'll do my show Mondays at 3. What? 60,000 people listen to me? What?
Yeah, I had no idea.
See, I live in my world of fun, and there's all this other stuff that's going on that's probably important that I seem to be oblivious of, but I think still work out. So I'm good. And that's another reason why I brought her on, because now it's just like, oh, okay.
Now you know.
Got it. Okay, but it is 3:55 and Jessica and I both have meetings at 4. So we are going to wrap it up. So remember, Breakthrough Show on Fridays at noon Central. It's
Yes.
1 o'clock Eastern, the real time zone. Okay.
I know it's the real time zone. That's where I grew. My heart is not here. I'm actually on Eastern time in my head. That's why I get so confused so often.
Okay. And we'll be back next month, same time, same place, same Zoom link. And continuing on today, if you go to energeticmagic.com and go to the free webinars, you can jump onto the business webinar. It's happening at 6:30 Eastern. And then the final webinar on belief shifting at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be done at 11 o'clock. I would love to say I'll be done, but then there's always a little bit of admin. So I'll be up till 12 and then I'll be done for the day. And then I'm just going to collapse into a ball. Okay.
And tomorrow you're going to
Wake up.
rest.
Oh, rest. My
When
first
the
appointment-
student has now taught the teacher.
no, it's built in. My first appointment on the Tuesday after this is always 10 o'clock at the earliest. I think it's 11 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm good. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I take care of me. I take care of me. All right. So thank you for tuning in. This has been a fun-filled episode of Rewriting Reality. We'll see you next month. What's the next big thing on the Breakthrough Show Network this week?
Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern is Divine DNA with the Jacksons, Donnell and Angelique, and they are all about relationships. And this week they are talking about, is there such a thing as the perfect relationship?
Is there such a thing as the perfect? I'm going to get into character for Divine DNA.
Yes.
Okay. I just posted something recently on Facebook that said, if someone goes out of your life, don't consider it an absolute loss, unless, of course, it's me, in which case you're really fucked up. So that's it.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect relationship. There we go. Now we're in. All right. Again, thank you, everyone. We're out. See you again soon. And Divine DNA Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.